The success that I have is a result of my hard work, ng talent ko. Yes, so that's how I got into pageantry. That's how I won. Pasok lang sa top 5, Lord. That's all I want.
Ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1, rolling. Hi everyone! Welcome to this new episode of Queentuhan podcast. And we have here for this very special episode my queen sister. Wow. My queen sister. She's been doing pageantry for
I don't know how long.
but she's
exactly.
she's that queen, okay? And right now she's the newly crowned Diwa ng Davao 2024, no other than Miss Jan Marine Sanchez Rendon.
Hi, Dave.
Hi,
Good morning.
yes.
Mabuhay Manila, everyone. I feel so happy to receive an invitation from you and of course from an organization I look up to kasi I know many people or friends na associated with
I see.
the one producing the Queentuhan episode. So thank you so much for having me. Hello,
Thank you
everybody.
also, Miss Jan, for gracing us with your presence for this episode. The very hectic schedule, pero naisingit mo kami.
Of course.
So, thank you. And yun na nga, no? We've invited you here to quickly share with us ano ba yung naging journey mo when it comes to pageantry. Kasi maybe for some na nanonood, they're also looking forward and also trying to get into pageantry. So my first question, Miss Jan, is can you tell us about your journey in the pageantry world and how it has empowered you to pursue your advocacies?
Okay, so actually, my mother was a beauty queen herself until she became pregnant with me. But that isn't initially the reason why I got into pageantry. I recall from my elementary days an incident where I was somehow chosen as a representative from our local pageant sa church. And the amount of effort my late grandmother put in to help me win, I will never forget. And as you know, she is the most important figure in my life. So everything that will bring her pride and glory is paramount to me, even now that she's, with the Lord. In high school, hindi ko pa alam na ganun yung value ng pageantry to me. When one begins to develop a sense of belonging and self-identity and crisis at the same time, I somehow felt like, anong talent ko? I cannot do sports. I cannot sing. Mediocre lang sa dancing. And then everybody was so busy, so I found myself investing my time in public speaking and service. And during intramurals, wala akong mapasukan aside from pageantry itself. So that's my first taste of pageantry. And that's how also mentors, aka handlers, scouted me. Recognizing the financial assistance and the opportunities that came with the platform, I said, why not? Nagtuloy-tuloy na siya, but the condition was, it should not interfere with my studies. So,
Kasi high school ka pa
yes.
noon.
So, nung nag-18 ako, hinintay ako ng mga handlers para they can just call me pag merong mga rackets or ganaps in my hometown, Kidapawan. I could not go home agad-agad. So, merong Miss Accountancy search na naman in Ateneo. And yes, so that's how I got into pageantry in Davao City. And I won, and I represented the division in the first search for ambassadress of intramurals. And I won, and that also led me to take part in initiatives. My core advocacy for the children in conflict with the law, housed in Bahay Pag-asa, Tubok. So at that time, the current administration in 2017 was focused on their war on drugs.
Yeah, it was during that year.
Yes,
I
yes.
remember.
And isa sa mga criteria heavy on, how are we gonna decrease the number of children involved in such. That's how I won, I think, advocacy-wise. And the experience itself was an eye-opener. Something about being part of a goal that's bigger than yourself. Parang you're addictive to the fulfillment na nabibigay sa'yo, di ba? Na-realize mo na it doesn't take money or connections to have a powerful impact or to make a difference. You only need to have intentions.
Correct.
And ayun, that started my advocacy with the children in conflict with the law. So whenever I joined with any pageants, I made sure that I bring them with me.
Yes.
And now as Diwa ng Davao, I still want to expand on that. Sustain the activity. It's a sports clinic, by the way.
That's actually very nice at Miss Jan.
Ang haba ng sagot.
Very beauty queen. Syempre, ganun yun.
Yes.
But thank you for sharing. Kasi I think hindi siya ganun ka pinag-uusapan.
Yeah.
And when it comes to children in conflict with the law.
Yes.
So it's very nice that we have a beauty queen here in Davao who advocates for that.
So I started with a sports clinic, and then now I wish to provide opportunities for these children regarding their reintegration back to the society.
That's
so they don't feel
nice.
lost or neglected. Kasi
Ganda.
sometimes may taboo, diba?
Yeah.
Na wala nang pag-asa once you
Mahirap.
commit a grave mistake.
Para may
So,
stereotyping na
yes.
judgment.
And at the same time, nag-align din naman siya sa personal goals ko.
Yeah.
Kasi I wanted to become a lawyer one day, but for some reasons, yung dream na yan on hold muna.
Yeah. Nakapark
To be
lang.
seen, yes,
Pero
nakapark.
ipo-pursue.
Yeah, one day, definitely.
Pohon, yeah. So now, Miss Jan, after being crowned Diwa ng Davao, what are some of the things that you learned and what are your plans moving forward?
I'll tell you one thing, and I think I mentioned this during my opening statement, to embrace your journey, because the journey is just as important as the destination.
Correct.
So the depth of this lesson, I learned after being crowned Diwa ng Davao. Because in my past 2 attempts, by the way, it took me 3 times to secure a spot in the top 5. In my past 2 attempts that I failed to make it to the top 5, the effect on my personal confidence was really tough. It made me realize or think na baka hindi MND ang para sa akin, or worse, pageantry isn't really for me. Kasi diba, you get to question what's lacking. Now, looking back, I can see and connect dots with gratitude, because going to the coronation night last month, March 15, I've been receiving, of course,
Well wishes.
Yes, well wishes. But it was really after that people have been more vocal about how they see me as an inspiration because of my story. And I didn't know it has that profound effect. Kasi I thought in my past 2 attempts, I see myself as failing in the pageantry scene. Diba? You have that sense of remark on yourself, lalo na kung competitive ka or overachiever ka growing up. So, masakit. I think that the value is in the journey, because all the rewards that I'm enjoying now, especially with the platform that I have been given, which is to truly inspire, I live it every day. I live the dream, yes. Plans moving forward.
Yeah.
Of course, 1, fulfill the Diwa duties meaningfully. 2, seize every opportunities that came with the platform, especially in my career as an events host. And lastly, today's I've never shared this with anyone except my MOA manager, Michael John Makadangdang, na when tapos na yung lahat ng segments para sa first cut, hinahanap ako ng mga stage director kasi lahat bumalik na sa stage, lights off. And I was just somewhere in a corner praying. Sabi ko, Lord, my God, ito na. If hindi ako makapasok sa top 5, this is the end of my career. Ayoko na talaga. Kasi it's expensive. Diba?
Yeah.
It will require so much of your mental fortitude.
Correct.
And confidence. So sabi ko, pasok lang sa top 5, Lord. That's all I want. Kasi alam ko na once sa top 5 na ako, I can, move forward. So nakapasok na ako. So dun yung super duper kaba na hindi ko maintindihan. I can really feel my lips twitching. And then, I was called 3rd. So, pagtawag sa akin, yung pakiramdam ko parang, oh my God, nanalo na ako. This is it. Pagtawag ko naman sa top 5, sabi ko, Lord, last 2. Pabutin mo ako sa last 2. I just really want to be part of the top 5 and then give it my best and then bahala na si Lord. But of course, at the back of my head, there is a part of me na akala ko pag top 5, easy na to secure the crown. Sabi ko, Lord, thank you for answering all my prayers. So, nasa last 2 na ako, I was just really crying. Sabi ko, if you give me mutya, I'm happy to retire now with this platform. If I ended up as Diwa, Lord, I knew that you wanted me to pursue pa going to the national stage. So, plans moving forward, aside from fulfilling my duties as Diwa meaningfully, hopefully, get prepared simultaneously
Let's
para
go.
next year.
Naiyak tuloy ako ng kausapan.
God willing.
Yeah, God willing. Yes, yes. Okay, so natin man moving forward. How has being crowned Diwa ba influenced your perspective on social issues and what new opportunities has it opened for you?
In terms of perspective, there's actually an image or standard set, particularly in becoming Mutya ng Davao or becoming part of the top 5. This year, we are centered on being #inspiring Mutya.
Yeah.
So that in itself propelled us to continuously be aware of what's going on, aware of the pressing issues surrounding the city, to be involved, especially that help is within reach. Becoming Diwa really, hindi siya naka-influence, it's really part of the job.
Yeah.
To do research and exposure sa lahat ng nangyayari. Becoming Diwa gave me visibility. Kasi with the visibility that I have, it's a lot less hard to connect or network with people I want to work with. No? Sinabi ko siyang lot less hard kasi it still requires constant work.
Yes. Tinatrabaho pa rin
Yes,
siya.
hindi siya easily handed to me just
Yeah.
because I'm Diwa.
Ngayon naman, Miss Jan, in what ways do you believe by your story can also inspire, as you've mentioned, inspiring Mutya, inspire other women to take action in their communities?
Okay. Actually, that's a familiar question. That's a similar one to the final top 5 question. Diba? How will you inspire something like that? It took me 3 times to secure a crown. It took a lot of faith, grit, and resilience to rise above the setbacks and disappointments. That in itself, I believe, is inspiring already.
Yes.
And I will use the same values that I have to apply it in my advocacy implementation. Kasi advocacy implementation requires one, wit. It's a lot like doing your thesis in college,
Research.
right? You have to research what's the most pressing issue or what's an issue that resonates with you, and then conceptualize a smart plan. The other 50%, I believe, is intentional efforts.
Correct.
It should come from the heart. Because if you're not passionate about it, you'll get really tired.
Yeah.
And you don't get paid for that. Of course, we don't want to advertise we're doing this for the clout.
Correct.
Especially with children in conflict with them, they're very strict with media exposure because these are children.
Exactly.
It's really something personal, and I think I owe it to them that they gave me a bigger sense of purpose. And ito talaga, I strongly believe that pageantry is not superficial, should not be superficial. I take it my personal mission to be seen as a woman of substance and purpose because if I'm not on stage, I'm also a lot of things as a woman.
True.
I just want to put an end to the misconception that beauty pageants are superficial. Kasi if we were truly to celebrate women, we should not focus on what's given, the physical attributes.
Yeah.
We should dive deep down on what they can offer. And, di ba? Women empowerment, go. We have
Yes.
so much to offer. But what I really like about joining Mutya ng Davao is they really elevate women.
Correct.
They mandatorily want to shape you into being a role model to really take part in advocacies closest to your heart.
If you could share some more, what are some key lessons ba na you've learned from your pageantry experience that you can apply to your advocacy efforts?
It's not superficial. The work continues right after being crowned. So all the efforts I've made towards coronation night, I have to double that up now that I'm being crowned because there is a standard that I've personally set and the society have set to, leave a mark or a legacy.
Correct.
Being visible as a beauty queen in the city, the demand is high. People would want to work with you or ask you if you want to be involved. If, as I've mentioned, marami, if you want to be part of environmental causes, go. Children, women, businesses, you will receive a lot of blessings and opportunities with the platform. So it's really worth trying. In my case, third time.
Yes. Oh, di ba?
Third time's the charm.
Third time's the charm. And with this interview, I think people now can also see by the other side
Yes.
of being part of the Mutya ng Davao 2024 because it's more than just the crown.
Yes.
What we are really trying to push is to be more than just a crown. You push for your advocacies,
Yes.
you brave the causes that are close to your heart.
Yes.
Diba? Hindi lang naman yun. So now it's nice din, Miss Jana, nalalaman ng mga tao na, after pala ng Mutya ng Davao, may mga ginagawa pa pala yung ating top 5.
Yes. We are
Di nyo lang
constantly
alam.
working on top of balancing our
Yeah.
livelihood, or for some, their
Work.
academics. Yeah.
For my last question, Miss Jano, reflecting on your achievements and current opportunities, do you feel that your success is a result of your title or the hard work you've put in?
That's a very good question. I think it's 80-20 or 90-10. 90%, the success that I have is a result of my hard work. 10%, just a bonus from the title. Kasi, as I've mentioned, even if I'm Diwa, everything that I have now, the opportunities, particularly in hosting, not just naturally given to me. I constantly have to improve my skills. I constantly have to make sure that I'm easy to work with. Continuously connect to different people I want to work with.
Yeah.
Kasi people thought that, she's gotten so busy now that she's Diwa. But I think it's because of the recognition I got from Coronation Night to date. Actually, all of these that I have are product of my hard work. Schedules, tight. It's booked and busy energy all the way. I kind of developed a personal philosophy that I did not become Diwa. Diwa became me. I mean, I don't usually wear my sash and gown in all of my ganaps because I don't want to be seen as, I want them to remember me without the title first. It's my personal mission now and until, I move on with different pursuits in life.
I'm so happy hearing all of this, Miss Jan.
I'm so
I used
honored to
call-
be here. Queentuhan, the best I love. I will never turn down a good opportunity to share my story, wisdom, as, Diwa.
Medyo nahihirapan pa ako kasi gusto ko tatawagin Ate Mai. Miss Jan, nagagano na ako.
Ate
Hindi ko
Mai
alam.
na lang, it's
Yeah.
fine. It hits home whenever
Yeah.
I hear someone calling me ate.
It's very inspiring to hear all of this, Ate Mai.
Thank you so
As someone
much.
who
Glory to
also,
God.
glory to God. As someone who's seen and witnessed by your journey.
Yes.
And finally hearing you say these testimonies.
Yes.
And it's ang ganda pakinggan. So, do you have any messages ba, for those listening? Ano ba yung pwede mong magiging advice for people who's pursuing dreams, even if it's not pageantry?
It's easy. I want everyone who's watching or listening to just believe in the power of your dreams and don't be so focused on the timeline you've set, because if there's anything I learned to be true, anything that's meant for you will never miss you. You are never denied nor redirected. Sometimes you are rather refined.
Correct.
So when your time comes, you're ready and you can share so much of your wisdom. We have to know when to pursue and how much we can invest on a particular dream. Kasi everything has a timeline, but that timeline should not be imposed by someone else. It should only be imposed by you. Just make sure that whatever you pursue, you put all of your heart into it. Stop with the self-limiting beliefs. I was listening kanina and I really love how the previous speaker shared about focus and limiting beliefs. Kasi nothing will ever happen to you unless you believe in yourself. Yeah, believe.
Yeah, believe and put action into it.
Yeah. And if you were to be more spiritual about this, I like the 3 steps, yung ask, believe, receive, and it shall be given to you.
Ganda.
Yes.
Miss Jan and my Ate Mai,
Yes.
thank you so much for this time.
Of course.
Salamat. And hopefully we can do
More Queentuhan.
More
I'd
Queentuhan
love that.
with you.
Yes,
Oo.
yes. Actually, before we filmed this, we were already doing our catch-up.
our own catch-up and own
Yes.
Queentuhan din.
So thank you so much as well, Daisy, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I hope may natutunan ang mga nanonood
For sure.
Bye-bye. And see you around Davao City.
See you around. Our Diwa ng Davao 2024, Miss Jan.
All my love.